Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel, the segment on this channel where I can unleash all of my inner rage and sadness and anger and sorrow, all of the negative emotions that come with being a human being in this day and age where things are so complicated to do because the world is a very complex place to live in and whatnot, you know, especially when it comes to watching movies without captions, you know, dubbed in the language of wherever they are and the thing with the stuff and whatnot. And here's the thing, guys, this video is somewhat kind of like a, let's call it an indirect sequel, a spiritual successor, an indirect spin-off to this video here that I did some time ago, I think last year, where I talked about dubbing and why I think it sucks, why I hate dubbing in movies, TV shows, games. There's a reason for that, and before I get into it, let me preface by saying that I'm not saying that it's necessarily wrong to dub things. I understand that it's a very popular thing and every country has its own team of dub artists, you know, who dub the movies in their own native languages and whatnot. You know, every country does it, you know. I'm not saying that I'm here to abolish it, but I personally hate it. I don't like dubbing at all. And people who watch everything only dubbed, I tend to not really respect them too much as, you know, moviegoers, and it's not like I consider myself more of a cinephile just because somebody watches a movie that's dubbed. It's because I am more of a cinephile. Okay, no, I'm kidding. That was a little harsh. But basically, whenever you watch something that's dubbed, you are completely depriving yourself of the original experience, right? So if you're watching an American movie and you watch it dubbed in your language, like for example Portuguese here in Brazil, you're not going to have the same experience. You're going to have an adapted experience. And if you're watching a comedy movie, it's just as bad because you're always going to have an adapted version of the original jokes and, you know, the references, the cultural tidbits, you know, nothing makes sense when it's dubbed. And as somebody who watches a lot of movies, sometimes the experience feels very strange, right? Like, I don't know, like for example, you're watching a foreign movie that, like for example, All Quiet on the Western Front, that war movie from 2022, that was a German movie that took place back in the First World War, so the early 1900s, and like, everybody speaks Germany, you know, they speak German because they are German soldiers fighting in the Second World War, you know, and it doesn't, like, you're gonna watch that dubbed, for example, in Portuguese or Spanish or French. That's not what the characters, that's not the language the characters were speaking in. It doesn't make sense. The immersion is completely broken, and that's where captions come into play. It's very easy for you to watch a movie in its original language with the captions in your language. You're going to still have the original experience and you're going to understand what they're saying, right? However, I have seen a lot of people here in my home country of Brazil justifying that they don't like reading captions. They don't like movies with captions because they have to stop and read the captions while watching the movie. And it seems like the vast majority of people who I talk to about this feel that it's difficult to read captions. It really is just incomprehensible to my brain how somebody is incapable of reading captions. I realize that there are people in the world who weren't, you know, very properly alphabetized. Maybe they do have difficulty reading, and that's totally fine. If it's an actual legitimate, you know, hindrance to you, you know, if you have any kind of trouble reading something, that's actually fine if you want to watch a movie that's dubbed. But if you're a regular Joe, if you know how to read properly like a regular person, and you still watch movies that are dubbed because you don't feel like reading, or you feel like the captions are too fast, or you're too lazy, you're an idiot. Like for example, me, I watch movies a lot because you should know this because I do review a lot of them on this channel. I talk about them on Twitter when I feel the need to, and I also have a Letterboxd account where I have like over 100 movie reviews. So I don't just watch movies, I experience them, I consume them, you know, almost like it's turn on the stupid timer here, almost like it's a meal of sorts, you know, for my brain. And you can actually learn a lot by watching movies. So in my head, like somebody who watches, like, I don't know, a bunch of movies, like 2-3 movies per day, and they're all dubbed, that's not a regular kind of cinephile to me. You're not really, you're literally just watching them, you're seeing them, you're letting them play out and listening to the audio dubbed, and you're not actually getting into the story. You're not understanding what the characters are going through. You're not feeling the story threads. You know, this is getting way too philosophical. It's just weird, man. And when I'm watching a movie with captions, whenever I watch an American movie, I have English captions on. Like, I don't need them, but I just feel like, I don't know, it just makes me feel more comfortable having an English movie with the original captions. But when I watch a foreign movie, you know, because I watch a lot of Asian movies, for example, and I mean, it's like, it's better to have the wait, what am I saying? Okay, hold on. I watch a lot of Asian movies. You know, recently I saw a German movie. You know, the one that was nominated for the Oscar. It was what was it called? It was a terrible movie. The one with the war. I forgot what it's called. Whatever. It sucks. Don't watch it. I also saw a movie that was in French, I believe. And every time I watch a foreign movie, it's always with English captions, and I always understand what's going on. Now, of course, the translations aren't always 100%, but at least I understand the basic gist of it, right? But like, like when I see the captions on screen, I don't know if this is just me, but I can read them in like a second. Like, as soon as it pops up, I already read it and absorbed it, and I actually finish reading the caption before before they even fade. Stupid motorcycle is distracting me, man. This goddamn a-hole. Like, by the time the captions fade, I already read them. I read really fast, so it doesn't take me away from the movie too much. And I see people complaining that, I don't know, but what if I have to stop to read the captions, then, you know, I won't be able to look at the scene that's in front of me, so I'm going to read and miss what's happening, you know? It doesn't really, dude. Like, how slow do you read? It doesn't make sense. I know that not everybody is a speed reader like me, you know, maybe I'm just used to it. I did a lot of reading back in middle school and high school, so maybe that's why. Maybe it's just something with me. Like, I can watch a movie and the caption comes up and I can read it instantly and still pay attention to what's going on, see the character dynamics and whatnot, but people seem to not be able to do that. That's the justification that I hear a lot here in Brazil, where it's like, yeah, well, I have to watch it dubbed so I can pay attention to the movie without having to stop and read the captions. Like, how lazy do you have to be to not read a sentence that shows up on screen so you can understand what's going on, dude? You know, it's so stupid, and dubbing sucks in this country. Of course, obviously, Brazilians will say that their dubbing is the best in the world, but they've never heard any dubbing from anywhere else in other countries, so how can they say that? Every country will say that their dubbing is the best in the world, you know? It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense, and it's so hard for me to watch movies with friends, right? Because of this. Like, the vast majority of my friends, I would say like 95% of my friends prefer to watch movies that are dubbed, so I don't have movie nights here at my house, and if they ever have any at their houses, I don't go, you know, because I can't dictate, you know, in somebody else's house what the kind of movie that I want to watch, if it's dubbed or captioned. So I prefer to watch movies by myself and just talk to people. But even when somebody watches a movie dubbed and I watch it captioned, it feels like a different experience, you know? Like, we don't really, it doesn't just, and again, I will reiterate, right? If the person has a genuine difficulty with reading, and they struggle to do so, and they feel the need to watch a movie that is completely dubbed so they can remove that obstacle from in front of them, that's fine, right? It's like an impediment, you know? They literally cannot read, or they're trying to, but if you watch movies that are dubbed simply because you're too lazy to read, you're a deadbeat, you're an idiot, you suck, and I will never watch movies with you, right? And like, as someone who says I'm such a cinephile, I love watching movies, oh my god, I love them so much, I watch so many movies every single day, and then they only watch the movies dubbed. You know, it's like, it's basically like, you know, playing a video game, and instead of playing it, you just speed run through the whole thing, you know? You skip all the cutscenes, you don't go for any of the collectibles, you don't talk to any of the characters, you just go around button mashing until you finish the game, you know? Like, watching a movie that is dubbed, to me, feels like speed running. You're not actually stopping to you know, consume it and allow it to give you the experience that the director felt the need to, right? And I know that my opinion may be very unpopular, because, you know, dubbing is very popular, you know, it's very widespread and people still do it. It's not like there are active, you know, protests and boycotts towards it, you know? I realize that I am kind of like a rebel without a cause right now, but it's just my opinion, man. I hate it so much, and it doesn't make sense to me how somebody can have a difficulty that, like, for example, I understand that with me it's more like, you know, somebody who grows up, you know, poor, they're gonna be like, wow, how can I phrase this correctly? It's like the person who grows up poor and they don't understand how somebody can be unhappy being rich, or somebody who is rich can't understand how somebody can be happy being poor, or whatever, it got away from me here. Basically, I understand that I'm in a position that is fortunate. What is wrong with me today? My brain hasn't turned on fully yet, and I woke up early today. I understand that with me it's a privilege thing. I am fortunate and privileged enough to have had a good education growing up, so I can read a lot better today. And with me it's just easier when I see a movie that's captioned, and with others it's harder. It's just like speaking English. It's easier for me because I grew up with it. It's my native tongue. So somebody who is learning English, they're gonna have a lot more difficulty. So for me it might be easy, and for them it won't be, even though English is literally the easiest language to learn in the world, you know? I mean, it's not like I'm trying to teach you Chinese or Russian, but still, man, that's just, you know, I don't know. I don't get it, man. Reading is so easy. It really doesn't take that much effort, honestly. I don't understand how people, especially in this country here, have this justification where I'm not gonna read the captions because I'm too lazy and it's going to interrupt me. I won't be able to get into the movie. I gotta stop and read. I mean, dude, holy hell. When somebody sends you a text message, you know, if somebody sends you a text on your phone that's like I don't know, a few words long, are you really gonna take like an hour to read that? Because I'm pretty sure that when it comes to your phone, you can read text in an instant, right? Somebody sends you 3, 4, 5 different texts, you know, 5 different sentences, you're gonna read through them quickly. Even if you skim through them, you're going to get the basic gist of it. Why can't you do the same with movies and TV shows? It's so freaking aggravating, especially when there's a movie or a television series that has a character that is a foreigner. They have a specific accent, or maybe they're from out of state, and like when it's dubbed, there are no accents. You just hear your native language being spoken over them. It doesn't make any sense, you know? It's like, holy hell, man. Like, if there's an Asian, you know, who has a very thick accent talking to a person who's from England with their accent, right? But then like somebody here just dubs over it and it just sounds like the same language. The nuance is gone. The magic is gone. Everything about the scene, all of the weight there is completely vanquished. It doesn't make any sense, dude. That's not how you consume freaking television. Oh, but I can consume it however I want. Yeah, go screw yourself, man. That's not what the director and the producers and the screenwriters had in mind, man. This is just like, let's work really hard on this movie here so somebody can come and dub over it from the comfort of a stupid studio with their coffee and air conditioning, man. My God, just read the damn captions. It is really not that hard. It truly is not that difficult. I mean, so if you actually stop to think about it, it makes a lot more sense, because if you go to a different country and you don't speak the native language, nobody's gonna dub over them, dude. You're gonna have to figure out how to translate them, whether it's with your phone or a dictionary, right? Or asking somebody else to translate. You can't dub people in real life. That's not how it works, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same line of thought, you know? You listen to a lot of international music, right? But you don't feel the need for anybody to dub over them. Do you want, like, for example, if you live in Brazil, do you want a popular artist from here to dub over songs of international artists? No, that's not how it works. So god dang. Sorry to be so triggered, but I really am. I hate this so much, dude. But that's what I have to say about this, you know. I'm sorry if the script came out a little stunted. This is a concept vlog which I just come here and talk to you guys with very little, if any, editing. But today I'm in such a bad mood, man. A lot of stuff happening in my personal life and stress with my other channel too that I've been working on. You can go and watch it here, my second channel, in Brazilian Portuguese. But oh my God, I'm not up for it today, but I gotta get these videos done. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and I'll be posting something in the community tab as well, so let me know your opinions. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good. Why am I spinning? Why am I doing this? This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the non-caption, non-dubbed, original language outro screen.